November 1st, Tuesday. Yet, in spite of the unfamiliar voices and unwanted touches from shadows lurking in the dark, rousing is a slow, arduous process. Difficult, every limb heavy with lead, no matter my aversion for the words they murmur in my ears, or the sight of her horrid smile from afar, my body refuses to yield. I am at their mercy. Beyond fathomable reason, my consciousness refuses the pull of the waking world, choosing to linger in the pits of a dream, gradually drawing me deeper into unknown depths. Somehow, even if it might mean I may never open my eyes, I allow them.
You do not belong there, my prince.
Where do I not belong? Not that I mind getting a few extra hours, of course. The bed's more than comfortable as it is. After an exhausting day yesterday, babysitting Kylie, the stress of finding an intruder in my own home, not to mention those bloody eyeballs they left. I think I deserve a little break, every once in a while, especially after going through all that in a single day. I can only be on the receiving end of so many unacceptable things within the span of a few hours, you know? As gracious a host and person I am, my patience has its limits too. Although there's still that problem with Hana, I haven't forgotten that, of course. But that's why I hired Shrokin. He's competent enough. He won't even last a day in my service if he's any lesser than those halfwits who think they can deceive me with their sweet words. He's more than capable of working on his own without guidance. Let the butler take care of that little problem with Hana, while I... Little problem with Hana? She's missing! Ah, just a little problem. Hana...
You do not need her.
Is that what you're saying? I don't need Hana? I need you, Takako, huh? You want me to be yours?
I am here.
Oh, man!
We are here.
She's kind of an obsessed girl as well.
This is where your home is.
Oh, man. Where you belong for the blood we share. Come back to us. How long has it been since? Johans has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now. Right?
Right? It's been more than 2 hours at least. So why isn't there?
Please don't go.
Uh-oh.
Bloody hell, the cretins I've surrounded myself with.
And isn't that enough reason to force myself out of bed? As it has always been the case. Don't leave me, Prince! The screams. Holy shit. My eyes fly open, expecting the warm rays of sunshine filtering through the curtains, only to be greeted by a blinding flash of light and a loud boom of thunder that sounded nearly too close to my ears. Strong gusts of wind will occasionally burst in from the open balcony door, bringing in drizzles of cold rain into the room. I must have left it open before dozing off. The carpet and the floor closest to it is already drenched. Hana's going to be so cross when she sees this. Not that it's an immediate problem. If anything, this power outage we should be minding first. But the intruder still at large, staring through this darkness might be far more fatal than multiple stab wounds or a gunshot to the chest.
Oh, great. The power's still out. That is exactly what I need right now. Yes.
I mean, how I'm kind of expecting... It's pretty clear how things are gonna go, right? Because in November 1st, in Ash's route, this kind of leads into that, right? The events that happen there will also happen here in Luke's route. So we'll probably just stumble and find Marianne and Isabella, and then we'll hold a gun, and then we're gonna have the gun showdown with Ashton, and then Hana's was on top of the stair. That's when they find it. Because at that moment, I think it was Johans, right? When Johans found Ashton, he also said, like, do you have something to do with where the missus is? He was obviously looking for Hana, right? Because she's missing at this moment. So that's what also caused chaos amongst Luke and Johans before they actually stumble into the other people. So I'm assuming that it's all gonna continue right after that point where Hana just appears at the top of the stairs. It's this storm, of course. I should have moved back to the penthouse to weather it in a much more comfortable setting. Already, I can hear the creak and groans of this old place as rain beats against the windows.
Johans! Has someone been sent to check the circuit breaker yet?
No answer.
Johans?
Johans, are you there? Silence.
Shirokin!
Shirokin!
Someone! Anyone?
Still nothing, and my cordial mood is quickly dissipating.
Where are those idiots when you need them?
It's really a wonder why he hasn't fixed this yet. Was I really out that long? Can't be. It's only been a few hours after midnight, if time on my wristwatch is anything to go by. Unless I forgot to change it again after the last overseas trip a month ago. Though the delay is understandable, if he went looking for Hana as he promised. But bloody hell, my safety's also at stake here. Cursing, I stay still, letting my eyes try and adjust to the darkness, while my hands fumble for my slippers. If that butler isn't going to fix this, I may as well order the security posted outside to do it. It's probably just a blown fuse. Anyone with a brain can repair one. Why don't you do it then, right? Grabbing my jacket, and with footwear finally on, I make for the door. Although in haste, I pause briefly when a gleam catches my eye. One of my drawers, underneath the clutter I've yet to organize, the muzzle of a gun peeks out. Hana has never openly commented my possession of it, but I know she does not approve of it, knowing the bloody firearms policy in this nation. Of course, I've not found much use for it in the 7 years we've been together, otherwise she would already had it thrown out years ago. Doesn't mean it won't be useful right now. Without second thought, I seize it, sending the stuff piled above it onto the floor. Whatever. I'll get to it later. This blackout problem should be solved first. Right next to my missing security detail, as it turns out.
Where the fuck did everyone go?
This is weird indeed. It happened then too, but like, yeah, everyone's gone. Like, why the fuck? How? There were two, weren't there? It's not like they were killed. They just disappeared, gone, poof. Shirokin had two blokes posted to stand guard for the night. I might be panicking for a bit earlier, but I'm quite sure I haven't gotten delusional yet. What? Did both of them decide to go take a break? Because they think the masses already sound asleep and won't be looking for them?
Damn nitwits!
Stupids. I know assassinations happen very rarely these days, and even less in a peaceful city like Luxborn, but bollocks! There's been a woman going in and out of this place uninvited, who may or may not want to put a knife in my back. And another peasant managed to break into this house just the other day. Isn't that enough reason to stay on alert? I'm fairly certain that Shirokin won't just enlist their help just for this power outage, only to leave me unprotected. We have a difficult friendship, so to speak, but I doubt that man is an opportunist. I'm holding the lives of his family in my hands after all. He knows what I'm capable of doing. I'm not stupid enough to do anything that'll endanger them and save only himself. So where then? Only my footsteps echo a long, dark passageway, and I am left gripping the handle of my pistol for some sort of comfort. Without proper lighting, and with the storm still raging outside, the stories I've heard about this place seem to have some truth to it. Some. If I'm reaching and wish to entertain myself for a bit, I'll say there might also be ghosts whispering in my ears, calling. Of course, it's just the wind and the trees rustling outside. Nothing good will come of allowing these thoughts to linger when problems are piling up in front of me one after another, especially with what greets me once I get into the foyer. Though it's dark, the large windows illuminate the area much more easily than any of the other rooms. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms, recognize them even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders come into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. But Lily? The estate agent? She doesn't seem the sort. Not to mention Mint. Hana trusted her. I trusted her to be a professional at the very least, for fuck's sake.
Well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
only it were. Bloody trespassers. What is wrong with these people? Did they really think I'll be with them? Or I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing in here? If I didn't know any better, they might also be behind Hana's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
Oh god, she's like whispering me instructions. She's trying to brainwash me. They must have a motive.
Make them pay.
Make them pay? And it better be a good one.
For all the wrong they've to us.
What have they done to us that's wrong, though? Or a bullet to the head is the least of at least all of them will deserve. And don't make a habit of harming women, of course. But this is just crossing the line.
Let's see. A real estate agent and an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Mansion? Mansion? Thunder crackles once again, cutting me off. It sounded more like Zeus wasn't very happy with that particular joke. He was like, Doom! Nope, you stop it right there, Luke. Stop that joke. This time, its sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the window and the ground itself are rumbling. All is deathly still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards them, taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting, with the heavy rain outside, and a lack of light here. I kinda like it, to be honest. Of course he does, of course he does. Adds something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like the villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements while curiosity takes over every murmurs in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. The detective from a few days ago, the one Lee mentioned, just as he's about to jump down from furniture that has somehow ended up piled up and blocking the door to the parlor. What happened there? And did he really think it's alright to do that in other people's houses? Loud. Teach him, my lord. Put him in his... Oh, that's what she says, oh. Put him in his place. My hand's already moving before any rationale can stop me, fingers firm at my gun, when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they be together? Doesn't matter. I know his kind follows some form of moral standard. He won't let an innocent be harmed, especially people he cares about. My fingers on the trigger, more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him, but more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes that everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hand. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
I feel so left out.
Well, you're here now, you know, better late than never. You even to your own housewarming party, dude, you showed up late. So you can't even use that as an excuse, like, I'm late to the party. You want to be late at parties. I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face. As soon as his feet hits the floor and he looks up. Oh yeah, we got this again. Damn, I never actually realized that Marianne looks like a fucking ghost. Holy shit, her face. I mean, it makes sense because she was like starved for 3 or 4 days or something. But damn, holy crap. He's already a prey, trapped by his own recklessness.
Pathetic.
And really, Lily, even you.
Even quote-unquote Lily. Sir, this isn't what you're thinking. Something's going on in this mansion.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
We're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Please what?
We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for Feathers here, though.
Is this your revenge because I tried or wanted to beat you up?
What's really now?
I swear, people need to stop breaking into my house.
This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. And I'm stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. I just can't risk it. The thought of having dead bodies here? Ones that I'm not even responsible for? They're the ones who trespassed. It's already quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wastes no time drawing his own gun at the slightest wave of my own, even if he knows it's already too late. And we have the showdown. Still, he glares at me. Still, he fights back.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping. Just an annoyance flickering shortly before being hidden underneath a challenge. The likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every worthless move they make, they have the impudence to stare people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying, most of the time, like a damn pest you can't be rid of. But to some degree, it is. Commendable. I'll give him that. After all, we're almost the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course, Luke, of course. Sure, in your mind. He tells me to put the gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner, in defense of my own home. I have the right to, I'd like to think, kind of, right? Sort of, in America at least. Questionable permit. Oh, this is not America, right? This is in the UK. Never mind, okay, maybe not, I don't know. Questionable permit of firearms aside. It's not like I wanted this, but I'm already high-strung, and their presence does not help. Bloody peasants. I can never seem to figure out how their minds fully work. You know, in order to understand a peasant, you actually have to be one, or pretend to be one. Have been in a similar position as a peasant, so that doesn't apply to you. Sorry, Luke, you just can't figure it out. It doesn't work for you. Take this one, for example. Despite the pride brimming in him, how he matches my glare with one of his own. He simply lowers his pistol after a long second, not in surrender. The tense set in his shoulders tells me as much, but the closest he can get to lowering his own ego in favor of something I can't quite place. Interesting. Gotta admit, I'm almost disappointed. Oh yeah, this is when we decided to, you know, actually beg and just hopefully that he freaking listens.
As you should be, my lord.
I've expected him to hold until one of us shoots the other. Can't say it'll be more exciting that way. A bullet inside of any part of my body isn't something I like to have on a bad day like today, or any day for that matter. But it'll surely be predictable of him. And I like predictable. They're the kinds of people who are the easiest to deal with, no matter the situation. And with them, there's no second guessing what they'll do. He shoots, I shoot, one of us dies, the other walks away. Nothing complicated. Yeah, very simple, you know? Nothing requiring much brain power, just muscle memory and who's the better shooter. End of story. Yet here he is, dragging a deep breath in and setting aside the only thing protecting him. I can easily shoot him this way, be done with this whole farce of a conversation. Instead, I find myself listening. A concession for a person who, in another life, would have also become the person I am today, had the circumstances allowed it. Damn shame. We might have gotten along.
Listen, right. I need you to...
But alas...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
A meeting of two prideful blokes will never go well, whichever lifetime it is. And I can only laugh at his audacity, his lack of shame and fear even facing the business of my end of my pistol.
You know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
Too bad that ain't this lifetime. The best truth I can offer him. Not many people, those who have slighted me in particular, live this long to see it.
He should be grateful. You're already gracious enough, allowing him to stand in your presence like this.
Yes, he's allowed to stand in the presence of your lordship, your prince. Yes, especially when he has a lot to answer. I feel like this ghost knows exactly what to say, like, cause she's feeding his ego, and you know, fucking Luke has a bigger ego than bigger balls, okay? Preferably right now, because as generous as I have been so far, my patience has its limits. My amusement can only last for so long. In 2 steps, I'm standing in front of him, grabbing him by the collar and resting the cold muzzle of the eagle against his temple. Ashton! He'll end up a pretty smear on the wall this close.
Teach this loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the 3rd time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me? Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
And he knows it. Of course he does. He's a trained officer, isn't he? But not many bother to be as cautious as him. One glimpse of my handgun safety earlier is all it took for him to see I mean business. Similar. Too similar. We're too alike in many little ways, it's funny. Down to the fact that he doesn't even flinch, no matter how heavy the threats in my words are. Even knowing how one flick of my finger on the trigger will be enough to end his sorry life. He should have caved in by now, started begging, like so many others before him. Instead, he throws more vitriol, adds more kindling to a fire already burning.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger.
And you've seen it too. You've seen it too, Luke.
You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
That last comment was so unnecessary, but so like Ashton to still say though, even in this situation, with a gun to his head. Still saying like, I got more brain cells, I'm smarter than you, motherfucker. Igniting it further that I can't help but return it to him with equal fervor. We don't need him, my love.
Why, you insolent!
We both decide to move in that moment, both our bodies tensing, each of us racing to get ahead of the other. However, before we can even get a head start, a voice unexpectedly rings above the chaos about to ensue.
Hannah?
There she is. Alright, this is where it continues from. We saw Hannah at the top of the stairs. What's gonna happen now? Oh god. I don't know what's gonna happen, man.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. What do you think you're doing out here this late?
You're not allowed out of your bed after 9 p.m. The woman that stands there is the one that I married. The love of my life. So why is it that the look she gives me now makes me feel so revolted? Makes it so that there is just a general sense of wrongness in the way she smiles at me.
Hannah! Oh, thank goodness, it's just you.
We finally found you.
Oh, you gave me quite the fright. We've been looking all over for you.
Saying this makes my tongue feel heavy. I'm so used to lying, to putting on a face, but this just feels so wrong. It's such a small lie, yet a big one at that. To be afraid at the sight of my own wife, for no apparent reason, is illogical, yet her mere presence has been disturbing. From her sudden devoted and near dependent nature, her obsession and possessiveness to her strange way of speaking, something has been wrong with Hannah as of late. I didn't want to admit it, but it was almost as if she turned into another person overnight. Yep, she did. And looking up at her now only seems to solidify this. It's almost as if I can't recognize my own wife.
Fetch me! Whatever for, my prince?
Look, that doesn't matter right now. You need to get out of this house right now, alright? Stay in the penthouse for a while.
Leave our home? What if I wish to stay?
It's not safe here, darling. Now is not the time to explain. Just listen to me. Okay, Buttercup?
Yeah, you may not believe this, but there's been this crazy, strange black-haired woman running around. You should be wary of her, Hana. I hold out my hand to her, and in the hopes that she won't ask any more questions, I shove away the ill thoughts I have about her, about how this is not the wife I've married. People change, and now is not the time to have some sort of existential crisis about it. Our safety is priority right now, and I'll feel better about all of this as long as I can have her by my side. But she barely budges from her place atop the stairs, let alone take my hand. And the way she looks at me just sends chills down my spine.
Why should I? Is something the matter? What about you? Are you not coming with?
What was I supposed to say? Where to even start? Maybe just confess there's some crazy lady roaming around? And I'd really like it if we just stayed safe.
You just need to leave for a while so I can let security sweep the place. And someone has to be there, yes? To supervise and all. That'll be my job, Buttercup.
Still, nothing. She doesn't move from where she stands, still with that amused grin on her face, as if this is all some funny joke, and she's the only one who can see the punchline.
But I do not wish to leave. And you should not either. You've just arrived, my prince.
Oh god.
This is your home.
This is your home, and I am your one and only one.
Our home.
Oh god.
Would you really allow others to drive us away from it?
Be that as it may, it is dangerous here right now, and I'd rather have you safe than, oh, I don't know, comfortable or whatever argument you wish to bring up. This is ridiculous, Hana. We shouldn't be discussing this. You need to leave now. Let me handle things here, Buttercup.
It is then that her expression turns absolutely horrific, and everything turns to complete and utter shite. Oh god, what the fuck is happening? The red hue is taking over. Hana's body shudders and shakes, as if she's about to have a seizure, until her visage ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair is slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of the woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It is a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang, as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan, blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the room slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it is just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder, and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been placed by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voice that neither belongs to us, nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
All the victims, all the people that died here, all throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping out in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. At the sight of it, Lily trembles, hugging herself closer, while Feather stands protectively in front of her. Brave of him, I have to admit, to put himself in the front line like that. Though it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame him for. There seems to be no end of sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away!
The fuck?
No! Stay away! Stay away!
I'm not afraid of you, you spook!
Oh, that's Rebecca. I remember Rebecca's voice.
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight!
It's like almost all the last moments before of the people whose lives she took.
No! She's here! You've got to let me out!
Oh yeah, that's Zach.
She's gonna kill me!
Oh shit.
Someone! She's...
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Oh my god. Until there is nothing but silence, her horrid smile, and pale hands reaching out to me, calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified, I really am, like I should be, but I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There is no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why? Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share?
What does she mean by blood we share?
This is your home.
Not literal blood, right? They're not like related.
Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay, together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
Don't listen to her, she lies! I promised no such thing to anyone.
Yeah, she's really confusing Luke for just the guy that's on the right picture.
We bought this house weeks ago. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place!
A terrible case of mistaken identity. That must be it. I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say something that to someone like her? In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere two people, Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who claim I've promised anything to them can go fuck themselves, really? So even Rochelle lied as well? I thought she might have been telling the truth, but I don't know. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I am not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I am to keep myself alive. Yet, she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. Still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
The monster reaches out again, her hand a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct. Stumbling back, one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here. Not anymore. Nothing to keep me tied to this place. With Hannah beyond saving, no longer the same woman I knew, and Shroken likely taken by this woman, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave. I can. My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, a familiar one, flutters down. Is it the letter? Oh, it is the letter. It's this thing again, from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat with what the recent events. One thing that I've kind of thought about, right? Because if you remember from Marianne's ending, we saw the kids playing a trick. Like, they were sort of there as a prank, right? They had the video camera with them, and they recorded the whole thing up until Takako actually, now we know her name, we can actually refer to her with a name. When Takako sort of like appeared behind them and killed them, there was one dude that actually had what do you call it? They had red paint and like a brush. So that really made me think like maybe they added some part to like the letter And then obviously the only part that they could have added is send this to 5 people or else, right? Because the help me, help me, help me is something Takako says over and over again. It's something she writes on all of her victims as well. Like she wrote that when she killed Rebecca, when she killed Zach, or maybe Zach and Rebecca wrote it themselves, but it's something that's in common, right? It's a common theme amongst anything that happens with Takako. And she yells, or not yells it, but she sort of like whispers it as well sometimes to certain characters. So that really makes me think that these kids just are the ones that wrote it, that made it seem like it's a chain letter, when in actuality it's just a letter from Takako just asking for help. That the help me part was all that was on it. And the kids, this fucking stupid kids just added the, send this to 5 people or else, you know? I'm not sure though, that's just what I think might have happened. Like, why else would he be holding a brush that had literal red paint on it? It must have fallen from one of these peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment, they appear conflicted to see it in my hands, but wisely keeps their opinion to themselves, leaving the damn thing as simply bear its grisly message to everyone in the room to see. Help me, help me, help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite because of some stupid old letter? Invitation, indeed. One I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give it a chance. I'm not dying here. I'm certainly not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panic gasps and worried glances from the people in the room, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door, and without warning it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my lips. What the fuck, tentacles? Dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love.
Where is that?
You belong here.
I'm not even allowed outside. I just wanted some fresh air.
Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
There's a moment of panic when the feeling of tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, waiting, watching for every movement, using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 4 of us in this room. 2 of them friends at that. Though Mint has already gone loon, like crazy, crouched in a corner and muttering to herself. You can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust these people to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way, while they all huddle in the corner behind Feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why, even Hana has her cunning manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day, if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you!
You're really gonna blame it on them?
This is all your fault!
Oh man.
If I'm dying to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Let's all not die, okay? That sounds like a much better plan.
Calm down, right? The situation's already bad. You're just making it worse.
You shut your mouth!
Damn, dude, he's really pissed.
If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened! Hana would still be...
Dude, that's not well, that's technically my fault. Suddenly Mint steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand.
How dare you! How dare you put that blame on us!
Yes, tell him, Mint. Without batting an eye, glares at me as if she might have just ripped my head off in this instant. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I've almost forgotten she's here, her ramblings having faded away in the shouting. I should have also expected she is not the kind to submit, even under threat. Right now, all of us appear smaller, facing her anger.
Last I checked, we were only trying to save you from this!
And what of Lily over there? You were there when she showed us that paper.
She didn't show it.
Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this sorting letter took? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she could save her little sorry self? You think I haven't seen that before?
That wasn't even her intention. She didn't even actively try to show it, like, oh shit, it says show it to 5 people, and then she, like, alright, let me show it to my friends, right? And you think that's really what she decided to do? Especially considering you killed 2 of her closest friends?
Getting tired of your double standards, Mint.
This curse is an entirely different issue, Whiskey. But, knowing you and the kind of person you are, I don't doubt that even without that letter you would have—
Please stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house has only proven my assumptions. Until now, quietly, she puts herself between me and Mint, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If only she sees us, if she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not 2 mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us now. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Feathers, for all his guts, doesn't even dare break it, merely watching us. Of course, he knows when Isabella's going off like this, you best not interrupt. Where did all his bravado go now, huh? Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we—
A deep breath, an exhale, and then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front
we
of her.
still would have ended up in this mess.
Yep. The atmosphere that descends into the room right after. Admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friend and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us. It doesn't sit quite well with me. That's because we found that out before, right, when we went to BRC, that pretty much every other person that just came here didn't even necessarily have to see the letter, just came here, was inside of this mansion at some point. Most of them were either in danger or already dead. And patience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now, and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Please don't hurt her. Fucking Ashton's gonna beat you up.
Hey, hands off her, right?
I knew it. I knew, of course, Ashton would like, nope.
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Well, you don't need to grab her wrist, okay?
Then stop taking it out on every single person.
Your friend is hiding something! She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir! I know the paper's useless, okay?
At the mention of the letter, without warning, Mint snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right there and there, or then and there, right? Not there and there, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got!
That's what I thought at first too, but I actually do feel that the letter is kind of... It doesn't mean that much, right? Considering from all the like other evidence that we sort of gathered, the letter isn't that important. Sure, there's a meaning behind it probably, and there's a reason for its existence, but it's not the thing that's causing all of this to happen. It's not just because of the letter.
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them! Oh god, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she...
I have a feeling, remember when we saw that scene in Marianne's perspective at her ending? I have a feeling that video scene on the recorder went on for a way longer than the part where it stopped for us. Like, we only saw where they like, where she killed them. But I feel like she saw everything in like detail. Ugh.
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up.
True, she's always kept it with her.
And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing.
Of course not, of course not.
Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
It's not because of the fucking letter.
I have to go with Whiskey on this. Who
What?
knows how many has already seen this before you found it?
Oh, come on, Mint. You're not gonna take Whiskey's side.
This cursed thing has to go!
Just because you had a one-night bang, huh?
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening.
I'm on the... God damn it, I almost said Lily. Why do you have to call her Lilies, Luke? Fuck me. I'm on Isabella's side here.
There's something else. Maybe it's this place that's the problem. Maybe it's this we should be getting rid of.
The mansion? I do think that probably that,
What?
yeah.
You mean we burn this place down?
Is that an option?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value!
Historical value.
What? No! We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
I can see that perspective, but still, considering the history of this place, like, yeah, okay, there is some historical, what was it? Historical value, importance, whatever, right? Historical value, she called it. But we also know some of the, like, fucked up things that happened during its historical time of this place, right? Of this existence. So, it isn't old, sure it may be old, but just because it's old doesn't mean that it's all been good and happy things that occurred in here. Certainly not.
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
We're not burning anything yet. How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with? I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. Really, that was your plan? Certainly sounds much better, right? Just run from it, run from your problems. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will flip the fuck out. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. Yeah, so many strange women and bars to bang. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors. With the only sane one doing the thinking. On the off chance I'm doing well, they suggested it. I decide to, those are our two choices. Burn the letter, burn the mansion. Yeah. I mean, I was on Isabella's side with this. I do feel like it isn't just the letter, right? If we burn the letter, it's not like the woman is suddenly gonna disappear. It's much more deeply rooted within this entire mansion and all the things that happened in the past here in this place, right? Like, I only got 2 of the memory fragments, and obviously, like, this is not something I've shown a lot, but this is something I haven't really looked at that often either. But like with every single route, you can tell, like, you know, there's a branching path, a tree, and obviously I haven't taken all the paths yet, so not all of the... We don't have all the information yet that is the full story, right? The big picture of everything. And especially the Luke one's fucking huge. Look at this shit. Look how fucking big this tree is. But yeah, so with the information, the limited information that we have, I do still think that everything is just, it's all about this mansion and what happened here with the former owners of Charlotte Ermengarde and whoever the fuck this dude is, that's sort of the picture behind, or the previous of who this study was, right? The dude that looks like Luke, basically. Like, it's definitely something Takako, who was their maid, like, fell in love with him or something, or she did something with him too, or he did something with her. I don't fucking know, but it's something with that, right? And it's all because of this mansion. That's just what it is. It can't be just the letter. As much as Luke is in a position, of course, he just laid down fat millions for this house, right? Just to get this mansion. But, and I'm pretty sure he's not inclined to burn it, but hey, the choice is in my hand, so I'm gonna be the one that somehow is going to fucking Jedi mind trick his mind into burning this mansion even though he doesn't want to. Because that's gotta be it, man. It's gotta be it. We're gonna burn down the mansion. I'm going to regret this. I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I have ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing. Really, it's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of this? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? Like, if we burn the house, we can also burn the letter at the same time, right? 2 birds with 1 stone, but bam. No need to make things more complicated. It started here. Why won't it end here? If what Lee said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run the estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it! Millions! With a sigh, and perhaps a heavy heart, I opened one of the drawers in my study table, taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accepted, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good. Yeah, let's all get fucked up drunk. Even more when I popped the cork off the bottle and poured its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
Let's burn this shit down to the ground, baby. We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight, using the blasted paper as kindling. See, exactly, 2 birds with 1 stone, boom. With the whole place drenched with wine, and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hana, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will, although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromaniacs. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing here that we've done to the study. Set it all on fire, door after door, in every room we pass. I'm more surprised that she's actually, like, letting us do this. Right? She's just giving us the freedom to walk into every single room and set the place on fire. She's not stopping us in any way. Pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we run out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one from many nooks I've stashed one. He probably like hides alcohol, like multiple bottles of alcohol in every single room. He just has like a, I'm so lazy, I can't bother to get up when he's like in the dining room, and then he has like a secret stash when he pulls out a bottle. Just anywhere he is. If he ever needs liquor, he has a secret stash to get it from somewhere. And then there's no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from distant relatives, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I've made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor, and the dining room.
Everywhere, everywhere.
You have problems, man.
Even in the toilet, okay?
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Hana called me out on this numerous times before, telling me of the same thing. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it, before completely dismissing her concerns. Worrywart, that woman. Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this, wonder of wonders. Though I suppose I can now say it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate, as if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors, and the rooms we've previously torched slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I've set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fittingly, that is when she appears again before us. Yeah, it's a bit too late now, Takako. Watching us from the top of the stairs, while her world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eyes is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only word I can think to describe it.
Please, help me.
Seriously, now she again that cry for help?
Help me, please.
Oh man, can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? That's the part I'm struggling with as well, right? She's like, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna kill you, stay here my love, blah 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 blah. And now she's like, what we think is nearing her destruction, or, you know, when her disappearance. Now she's like, help me, please, help me. Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. I have to remind myself she's no longer Hana. The woman I loved is gone, and who stands before me is nothing but a pale imitation of who she used to be. So like, I mean, it's pretty weird, right? She is apparently using Hana's body, I think, but it's still Takako who sort of possessed her body, right? Even though she somehow made Hana's body change appearance into what Takako and the ghosts that we've all been seeing. They look the same though. So, like, that's the thing I'm sort of wondering, like, what exactly happened to Hana? Is that still Hana's body and she just now looks exactly like Takako? I don't know. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The door's finally open, and through it, I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. Go, 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 never look back, just run, get out of here. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell, more than anything. I mean, for him that represents his wife, right? Or at least what his wife, Hana, used to be. And he's leaving that behind. Of course it's difficult. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Watching a multi-million-pound house burn before me? For some reason, nothing about this bothers me, because you're not thinking about the millions, okay? You're thinking about the fucking ghost and whatever the fuck else happened in here. Maybe it's the last one, it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I've seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness, The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside, and with it is the sign of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues. Soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze. A passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Free from this wretched place. Epilogue. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxborn City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident, sure unfortunate, resulting in the deaths of innocent lives. Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Realty Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. It's not like BRC was in a very lucrative place in terms of, you know, their corporation. So it doesn't really matter anyway. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old, and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Ermengarde Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that fill the nights, and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares to listen. Is she like still there? As for those who once tread its halls. Although Luke Wright has won his legal battle with Briar Realty Corporation, another tech leak places him and Wright Enterprise under the spotlight months later. This time, however, with the then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of Wright's Enterprise's illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Really? Ashton Frey reveals everything, all the illegal business of Luke, everything that he sort of tried to do with his previous case, right? Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Meanwhile, to avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city, of course. He's like, oh well, fuck it, I'm heading to Ibiza, baby, peace. All his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxborn apartments, leaving not a single trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of this man was on a flight bound to Ireland. Really? He goes from the UK to Ireland? That's not really, you know, or from England to Ireland. I thought he'd be like miles away, different continent or something, other side of the world. Nope, I'm going to Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him, even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though, over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him flitting in and out of the city, if only to check on those he has left behind. Months after her recovery, Marianne McCulloch heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of a past she has once left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. In spite of this, a different regret still clings to her, one that has been left by what she was witnessed or has witnessed inside the Ermengarde Mansion. She never returns to Luxborn after, leaving her interior design company in the hands of her secretary instead. But with her absence, the business eventually declines, until they are forced to shut it. Unexpectedly, she turns to music later, hoping it'll somewhat drown out the voices and the gruesome memories still lingering in her head. By some stroke of luck, or an unfortunate circumstance of fate, Marianne encounters Luke again. Really, of all people? Almost a year after she returned home, she meets the man in the local marketplace, newly settled, fumbling and confused. Although her opinion of him remains ambivalent at best, she reluctantly offers help, especially after seeing him stumble on his Gaelic more times than he deems acceptable. And it becomes a start. No, don't tell me they start dating! Not to a close friendship by any means, but perhaps something akin to it. And on better days, when vitriol and scathing words don't get in the way, there's only the pleasant companionship one offers to the other. Casual visits to the other's home, sharing a bottle of wine or two, or simply talking about anything under the sun. A comfort after a mutual loss. Something they both eventually learn to appreciate with time. Okay, so they're just sort of friends, right? With her newfound courage, yes, Isabella turns to painting again. She goes back to it. Isabella Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. I mean, she denied me, right? She rejected Ashton for her sake of her family, right? She said that was just more important. So I was kind of curious what she's going to do now. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes a scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And with her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde Mansion. That's something never, no matter who you are, how strong of a mental-willed person you are, you can never forget that, man. That'll always stick with you. Nor for what she has lost. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid, and with the brave face she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas, an honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Following his success in bringing the Luxmore firm case to a close, Ashton Frey receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxborn's lead agency against organized crimes. Damn, against organized crimes? An endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Oh, Abigail. Was it that woman? I wondered like who Abigail was in his phone. I think it was that woman that sort of stopped him when I tried to beat up Luke as Ashton. I think that was the female cop there. That was Abigail. But they said the late Inspector Lee died? Who sort of killed him then? Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance at ultimately bringing Luke right to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Ryan and his associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself, and take care of the man's once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time he never loses his drive, simply growing more determined after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush, an excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up, especially to those who he knows that generally care for him. he still has a long way to go. He knows that, but for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay, as well as what he lost, yeah? Zachary, Rebecca, he also lost a lot of close friends. He hopes that there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. Between the lingering trauma and their measly attempts at normalcy, it takes a few months for the awkwardness to finally lift for both Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos. Oh? Of several weeks trying to find their voice and remembering how to act around each other, despite enduring affections. But once the unease fades, there's only their usual banter and rapport to fall back on, the casual talk and their friendly jibes. And for the both of them, it's easy, like breathing, like coming home after another journey, a comfort in spite of the things they have gone through. Their days may still be filled with petty arguments and light teasing, but in the aftermath, when all has been said and done, something constant has already been forged between them. A quiet, steadfast thing they can both hold on to as they both carry on.
I knew the game was over before the rules were set. I've never been a winner. I didn't want to play. I thought there was a way out, but there's no exit from this maze, where every path is the wrong turn and every choice is a mistake. I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell. Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true. It was a simple question, my answer came too late, and every time I said no, I wanted to say yes. They say speak your mind, tell the truth, but there is room for each regret. So many fears to overcome, so little time to conquer them. I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself, I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell. Cowardice is easier than being brave, but at last I found the strength I lost to sing my love letter to you. 'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true. The
Damn, that song was actually really beautiful.
Tio? Where are you, Tio?
What? Kylie? What? What if Kylie was actually just left inside the mansion? Like, she was on the toilet. She was stuck in the toilet. Tio, where are you? It's like the only section of the house that didn't burn down. Tio, it's getting warm in here. Help me, Tio.
Tio. Please.
Oh, this sounds so sad.
She's here. She's still here, Tio.
Is she not gone?
Help me, please.
Oh god, what the hell? Poor Kylie, why is Hana doing that to her? I mean, I guess Hana really doesn't like kids, huh? She's like, god damn it, you're taking my prince away from me, you little bitch. She's still here? Oh, no way! She broke her neck! No fucking way! Holy shit! Is it not over yet? I don't know, man. Oh man. I don't know what ending this is. This is definitely not a good ending or true ending or anything like that. Oh man, we got a letter. Oh no, maybe we shouldn't read this letter, huh? We'll get fucking cursed ourselves. Dear you, if you're reading this, that means you finished playing the game in one way or another. Yep, and we thank you for your time you spent playing the letter. It was absolutely awesome. This game is our passion project more than anything, and we sincerely hope we delivered in bringing you a one-of-a-kind visual novel experience. They certainly did. The letter is hopefully the first of many visual novels coming from us. If you like what we did with this game and you would like to support us, please consider donating to our Patreon account. You can also follow us on social media to get the latest updates. Our handle is YangYangMobile. Thank you so much for everything. Let's talk soon. Love, YYM Team. Damn, I mean, if they bring similar quality of visual novels, you know, to the West, to us to play, then holy shit. I can only look forward to what other things they have in store for us, you know? Because, sure, we're not entirely, definitely not done with playing the letter yet, but just anything of sort of this quality, it's freaking amazing, man. So, yeah. Damn. So, I don't know exactly what this means, right? This is... There are many variants of this, holy crap, okay. So yeah, the galleries are sort of jam-packed, right? I think I've showed this once before, where it sort of shows like all the missing images that I had. And per chapter, there are usually quite a few that I've missed. I think 4 was one of the few that I didn't miss that many. Here, only 4. This is the Rebecca, I missed quite a few. This one I missed quite a lot in the Ashton route. And here, probably a shit ton too, yeah. In the Luke route, best image. But the rest, we're missing a lot here still. I only collected 2 memory fragments. These are miscellaneous, so I guess this is like from the very, very end. But yeah, the epilogue is just basically entirely everything that sort of happened, I guess. What happens at the end, right? Sort of the future of those characters. But there's a lot of variants here. And individually good. So Ashton actually has a good ending. We got the 3rd variant, or epilogue ending in a sense. Isabella got the good ending, individual good, and Luke sort of as well. Individual bad. There's also sort of Luke. I mean, yeah, he was in trouble. Marianne all alone. Oh, poor woman. But what else can happen to her? I don't feel like much else can happen to her, right? Like, she has an entirely different past that she has to deal with, that whole thing with Lorraine, and we sort of made the correct choices in order for her to remain alive, right? She tried to move past it by smashing the mirror. In her mind, that was obviously, you know, where the ghost was and what tied the ghost to Lorraine and everything in her mind, but obviously that was not the case. So which is why I feel like there's no number here, right? Just Marianne all alone. That's gonna happen to her. She's always just going to be alone. But with the other, you have different variants. Friendship good, Marianne and Luke, variant 1. I guess there's probably a variant 2 where they actually, you know, for when we played Marianne, we really distanced ourselves from the one-night stand that we had with Luke. But I'm assuming there's also a chance, not a chance, but there's a variant where you actually don't distance yourself from Luke and maybe even steal Luke away from Hana. You never know. But yeah, and then you still have a good friendship between Ashton and Isabella, and nothing, of course, between for Zach and Rebecca, because those two are unfortunately the ones that died. I feel like I still kind of did decent, right? Considering we got 7 chapters, 7 characters, 2 only died. Hana is sort of argue, right? You can sort of argue like, did she die or didn't she die? Technically, she's not dead, or maybe she died at the end. No, she was still alive. This image, wait, where is it? This one shows that she's still fucking alive, right? I'm not gonna show her snap the neck again. That's just too cruel. But yeah, that sort of shows that Hana is still alive. So even though she got possessed, she was still alive. But I feel like that's a key moment in what determined the sort of ending that I got. The fact that Hana got possessed, because that plays a big role in what happens at the end, right? That plays a big role in I think, was it chapter 6, where we see her on top of the stairs. It's here somewhere. There. It plays a big role in this unlocking this scene, right? And this is basically how things start to end. This is the last 5%, 3% of the whole end of the story. So I feel like the endings will probably drastically change if I don't let Hana get possessed. And we're missing a lot of memory fragments as well. So now sort of about the plan of what I'm going to be doing now, because I finished one playthrough and I feel like for the most part we get the general things, the vague picture of what has sort of happened, but we want to find out everything, you know? I want to try and collect every single image. I don't think I'll show like everything, because some scenes will just be like, it's a different picture, but it's not that of an important scene or something. I might just try to collect those individually, but at the very least, I will definitely show all the character individual endings. The one thing that I really want to do is, I think that's probably what I'll do first, is sort of just per chapter show all the endings, right? All available character endings that you can get. Like here for Ashton, for example, the ending we got is where does it say? Is it this? The choice. Where's the choice? Does it not say the choice anywhere? I don't know, but like, there are multiple routes to get to the end, right? So this is only one out of possible 3. So Isabella also probably, like, each chapter sort of has 3 different endings, and you have different variants of said ending. We got ending 1 in Isabella, for example. There are 2 other endings, so I'll probably show all the endings, and obviously one of them will also include all the characters dying, unfortunately. So in Isabella chapter 1, we're gonna have to kill her off. We're gonna have to kill off Hana, probably, if she even dies. And we're gonna have to kill off, well, Zachary already died, so we have to keep Zach alive. That's our mission. We're gonna keep Zach alive. Same with Rebecca, we're gonna keep her character alive. But yeah, that's, I think, sort of the plan that I am going to be doing right now, is to just go on chapter by chapter, try and complete all the endings from that, show off those different scenes, those ending scenes, to show the variants and whatnot, and I think that'll just sort of be the starting point of what I'm going to be doing next. Damn, wait, Marianne actually has 4 different endings. Alright, interesting. So yeah, I think that'll be the, at least, first thing that I'm going to be doing, and then after that I'm gonna collect all the fragment memories, try and sort of piece that together. I'm really curious as sort of what happened there, and eventually, of course, we want to find, unlock, I don't know how long it's gonna be to unlock all the epilogues. It seems like you gotta play through it multiple times. Luckily you can speed through it, but still. But the true ending, that's definitely something I'm gonna show off. Romance endings, that's definitely something I'll probably should show off as well, of course. Because there are sort of romances you can get, right? The very obvious one is Ashton, Isabella. Maybe there's an Ashton, Rebecca as well. I don't know, there were some vibes between Zach and Hana. There you can probably get good ending with keeping Hana not possessed, and then have her be with Luke, you know, have their marriage be successful and flourishing in, I don't know. But there are probably multiple romance endings, so that's something I'll show off as well. I don't know. There's still just plenty more things to show off at the very least. That's what I'm trying to say. So for now, this will be the end of my first playthrough, and I'll just be doing a bunch more other videos to try and put gather more information and put the puzzle pieces together to unlock the bigger story, and eventually at the very end the true ending. So this will be it. Holy crap, this was really awesome, enjoyable to play. More to come, of course, so do not worry. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. I know this isn't the typical kind of visual novels that I probably play, but I want to mix it up, so you know, some people might not be interested in this, but I really love playing these sorts of games, especially the more narrative story focused ones. So yeah, that's all basically. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video when we could return more the letter. Peace.